I have lots to share today. I hope I can do this with a little bit of brevity, but if not, you might want to get a nice warm beverage, or cold, I suppose, if that is your choice, but I would get a warm one if it was me. Well, hello and welcome to Michelle's Fiber Studio podcast. My name is Michelle and I am your host. Today is Sunday, January 5th, 2025. Happy New Year, you all. It's episode number 34 before I get ahead of myself. It's been a hot minute since I have sat and done a podcast. I was doing Vlogmas all through the month of December or up until Christmas time. That was a lot of fun, and that was going to be a good way for you to kind of catch up on what I was doing in the last several weeks between podcasts. But I'm excited to sit down and do a regular old podcast episode. It's been a little bit. It's a beautiful sunny day, but it is cold. It is only, it's only 20 degrees outside, but man, it's breezy. And so the feels like temperature, I haven't looked it up, but it's got to be in the low teens, maybe even single digits. When you get a wind chill going on here in the Northeast, it gets pretty cold, pretty chilly. So that's kind of where that is at. I have lots to share today. I hope I can do this with a little bit of brevity, but if not, you might want to get a nice warm beverage, or cold, I suppose, if that is your choice, but I would get a warm one if it was me, which I will do as soon as I am done. I'm gonna sit with a cup of tea. And I have project updates, I have new yarn, all the things. So before we jump in though, I will talk about what I am wearing. I am wearing, this shawl here is called Butterfly or Papillon. It kind of goes by both names, by MarinJaKnits. It is a project that I knit back. I started in August of 2021 and took me until May of 2022. It's pretty complicated, lots of short rows. Complicated isn't the right word, involved. That's a better option. Gets all twisted around here, but you can see there's lots of short rows and things that I had to go back and forth with. So this is yarn that I got in Williamsburg when I vacationed in Williamsburg in the summer of 2021. I am using, or I used, Earth Harvest Fingering in Black Grape. That is the purple that is kind of in between. And then Earth Unique Fingering in Gusty is the multicolored one. So there's really only two yarns that I was working with at a time, but it looks very, very complex and complicated, and I really like it. I love the colors. It's some of my favorite colors, so it's one that I reach for a lot simply for that reason. Marta is wearing a sweater that I actually wore yesterday, and it was still sitting on my chair, so I grabbed that to put on Marta. It is Silk and Saltwater by Annarella of Lyrical Knits, and the yarn is by Rowan. It is Soft Yak DK, a DK weight, in plain. It's a gray. It is a 76-15-9. It's a cotton yak nylon blend. I knit this in the spring summer of 2020. And I love it. I loved it so much that I actually knit one exactly like it in the same yarn and everything, just in a different color. So I actually have two. So this is the first one that I have done. And it's one that I grab fairly often. It just fits really good. And I love the colors. It goes a lot of different things. So with that, let's dive right in and get started. Where should I start? I have a lot of the same projects that I've been working on. So we'll just start with probably the quick and easy one, right? So this is another Musselburgh hat. I did finish the one for my daughter in the beginning of December-ish, like the 10th or 11th or something. So this is the one that I am now knitting for my son. So I wish I had more done on it because he heads back up to college. I'm not sure exactly what date. It's at least 2 weeks. I'm at least 2 weeks, but I really would like to have this done so we can take it back with him, because then he won't be home until like the third week of February. I think he comes home for the long George Washington's birthday, President's Day weekend. So I'd like for him to have it before then. So that's my goal. So this is really, really, really got to take center stage. But yeah, it's Musselburgh number 6. And in case you have missed the Musselburgh craze, it is a pattern by Ysolda Teague. It's a hat pattern. This yarn is Malabrigo fingering. And it is Impressionist Sky. I've got the tag here somewhere in the bottom of my bag. Oh, well, Malabrigo sock. You can't see most of it because of the, but there's the color tag. So yeah, so this one hopefully will not take too long. Again, this is the 6th Musselburgh hat that I will have done. And when this one is complete, everybody in my family will have one. And I will have to start the round again because my husband said he would like another one to keep in his car, and I think I would like another one to keep here at home so that the other one that I finished I can keep at school. Like, yeah, it's a whole thing. So I don't see the Musselburghs going away anytime soon. So that is that one. It makes for really good social knitting or movie knitting or in the dark knitting because it's round and round and round and round. Now that I'm back in school, I will bring it with me, and but I haven't had as much knitting time at school as I did last year when I was first starting to do the hats and such. So we'll see. We'll see how long that one takes. So that is my Musselburgh. Let's see. Project number 2, actually 2 of the 3 projects left are crochet projects. Let's do my Northeasterly Blanket. So this one is with yarn by Wool & Woman Fibers. It's their DK weight yarn. I don't know if there's an actual yarn name, but I know it's a 75%, 25% superwash merino nylon. And this is their monthly club. It was something you had to sign up for ahead of time, so I apologize. There's no way to get in on it now, but I signed up for it last spring, and it's called the Murder She Knit. So every month I get a box with little like 10 gram, 12, 10 gram yarns. And here, as I'm talking, I can hold up what I've done. It's really, really curly right now. So this column here is my November yarns. This column here is my December yarns. So here, how about if I do one of these? That way you can see all of the fun and pretty yarns. And so each yarn is in a little envelope, and it has like a little clue to the story, and you add it on to the blanket. So I actually have my box for January. I finally got this caught up. You can see all the fun little packages in my box here. So I will take these out shortly and get started on column number 3. I've decided to just do all of the yarns. Each month is its own column, and we'll see how wide it gets. It'll be what it is, but I think that's gonna work for the most part. This for December's yarn, what I did decide to do, here, let's not show you the wrong side, let's show you the right side. So I decided so I'm doing 18 rows in this chevron here. And I decided to stop the first color after 12 rows and then start color number 2. So that way it would be offset and staggered. I think when I get ready to add in my next row of colors, I am gonna go for 6 rounds and then do each color in full all the way, and then I'll finish. So this blue here, I finished with on the top. It's close, but you can see there's just a little bit of a differentiation. So that's the last of color number 1. So that way there'll be a little bit of staggering, a little bit of interest. That's my plan. I had fallen really, really far behind. As a matter of fact, the January mailing, they mail so that you actually have them by the 25th of the month before. And the January one came late. I think it actually arrived on December 26th because we got it, or I got it just literally as I was heading out of town to New York for a quick trip. Which was totally fine because I actually, at that point on December 26th, I still had to finish, I think, part of color number 11 and all of color number 12, and then all of December's colors, yeah, from November. So December was wicked busy and I just didn't have time, but I got really close to caught up actually. It was perfect train knitting. I did most of it on the train. In fact, I did it on the train down and then I didn't touch it the whole time we were in New York, and I worked on it on the train back, and then I worked on it again once we got home, and a couple of days ago I finished off the last color. So I've got now, today's the 5th, so I got 20 days to do 12 colors. I'm pretty confident that I can get that done. So I just need to take a picture of this actually, and then I can start the next round of colors, and hopefully now I can stay caught up. That would be delightful. So it's gonna be wicked fun. I haven't trimmed, you can see. I am weaving in my ends or crocheting over my ends as I go, so I shouldn't have to really do a whole lot of weaving, but I haven't trimmed any of them yet. So at some point I probably should. I don't know, maybe I'll block it. I don't know what to do. That's what I could do. After I finish the last of these colors, I could block it. And while I'm waiting for the next batch of colors to arrive, and then after I've blocked it, then I could trim. That might actually work, so. Anyway, that is the Northeasterly Blanket. It's by Katy Stevens. I guess I should have told you that. And again, it is a crochet project, so having a good time with it. Oh, I got a sneeze coming. Okay, I think I'm all set. Let's do project number 3 is, I think we'll do my other blanket, which is the Yorkshire Crochet Along Blanket by Meema Makes. And this is the one that I am doing with my Grinch Advent. So I have in my bucket here, I'll kind of, ooh, can you see? There we go. So I have a few of the yarns left, and then I have a whole bunch of these where I've been rolling up the leftovers. But let me show you the squares that I have. I got a whole pile of squares. I think I'm on number 14. And there are 12 different patterns. I gotta block these too, but I'll show you. Really kind of do a really quick run through here. I don't remember what the block names are. I don't remember which color is which day. I do have notes for all of these in my project page, which will be linked below. So if you want a little bit more information, then that is where you can go for that. The project is 12 different crochet blocks. You do 2 of each block, and then you join them together as kind of as you go, I guess. You add another round, and then you're joining them as you're adding that last round. So these are so much fun. This was the project that I worked on the most. My plan was to work on Elijah's hat while I was in New York City. And I did indeed drag it around, but I wasn't crocheting or knitting rather as we walked because it was too cold. And then I didn't take it out a ton in like restaurants or whatnot. So when I was in the hotel room though, these are what I was working on at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day. And I think I got 3 squares done while I was in the city. So much fun, so much fun. I can't wait to get these all joined up. Kind of go real fast. There was one block that I kind of was struggling with, and I'm not a big bobble person, and so it had some bobbles on it. I like the pattern on this one. And so I skipped it. So I figure I will do 3 of 2 of the other patterns or something. So that is this stack here. It's a pretty good fun stack. I have 2 different yarns that I'm kind of candidating. Actually, I'm pretty sure I've made my decision. So I was in Hobby Lobby before Christmas and I saw these yarns. They are by Hobby Lobby. It's their Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed. And it is a fingering weight. What is it, a merino? Is it 100% merino or merino nylon? Oh, somewhere in here it's gotta be 100% superwash merino. There we go. So there were two different colors that I chose. I think I am going to go with this browner one because I think this whiter one would just be too bright. I don't know. I think it's too much. But if I do the brown, I don't know how all that's gonna show. There we go. If I had my face, how that might help. Let's pick another one here to hold that brown against. I think that'll work better because I don't want the border to be like bite me different, right? So I need 3 skeins of this, and I actually need to check and see if it's on sale this week, in which case I will return this one and exchange it and then get a 3rd skein. So that I will have ready to go. So yeah, that is my Yorkshire Crochet Along Blanket by Meema Makes. The yarn was my Grinch advent, which is by Brazos Fiberworks, is where I had gotten that advent. That was a really, really fun one. I have 2 different advents. I have another advent that I will show you on my yarn shelf. And you can see me opening all of those all through my Vlogmas. So if you want to get more details on that, that is where I would suggest you go and look. All right, the last project is the one that is kind of the least far along, and it's also, I don't want to say least excited because it'll be great when it's done, but it's not one that I'm reaching for. So there's that. So this is my gnome. I bought the Nana's Visit gnome by Schira of Imagine Landscapes. It was a mystery gnome through the month of December, every other day. Well, she released clues, or she released something every day. Every other day or so was part of the pattern, and then the other days there was like a story that went along. So I have this part done, which I happen to know is like the head would go in here. So it's like a hat hood kind of a thing that's gonna go down the body of the gnome. So I have this piece done, and then I have this much of whatever this is going to be. And that's as far as I've gotten. I, at some point, lost all hope of trying to keep up with it. There was too much going on. I also had my Advent socks that I was doing, which I kept up with really, really well. And those did get finished. Again, you can see that in my, my Vlogmas. The yarn that I'm using for this is Knit Picks palette. I don't know how, we all probably have like a gazillion palette. I know I do. So I have 4 different palette colors that I'm using, and it is gonna be great when it's done. It's gonna be super cute, but it'll get done when it gets done, and I'm not really stressing out about it. So there we have it. That, I believe, is all that I have currently in my yarn bag. I'm gonna skip over Project Dreams because I'm really trying to focus on at least getting Elijah's hat done and the squares done on my blanket and probably the gnome. I'd like to get those done, and then maybe I can think about starting something else, even if I haven't, well, if I can get the squares themselves done, then maybe while I'm joining I could start something else. But Elijah's hat and the gnome definitely need to get done. So I'm kind of focusing on that at the moment. But I do have some new acquisitions on my yarn shelf that I thought it would be fun to talk about. So first of all, let's talk about my other advent. I still have it in my basket here. So this is the Beauty and the Beast advent by Fangirl Fibers. These, actually, if I hold it this way, so these colors on the bottom, there we go. These were days 1 and 2, 3, 4, all the way up, and then what, 12, 13, I think, all the way up to 20, 23, 24. So those are the different colors there. And then on the last day, I opened this beautiful skein. It's a full skein. It's called Tale as Old as Time. Just look at the beautiful colors. And this one, oh, I gushed about it in my Vlogmas for day 25. I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet. They are 20 gram minis, and of course the full skein. I don't have it in my notes, so I don't know what that works out to as far as yardage, but it's a lot of yardage. I kind of want to use them all in one project with this, but I don't know yet what that one project will be, and I think I'm just going to enjoy it for the moment. I'm actually sitting here petting it, you can't see. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. And if I don't use each color to its full, like, I don't feel that need. I would like to use them in all in one, but I don't have to use them up all in one project. So that, yeah, that's that yarn acquisition. The next yarn acquisition that I want to show you, we did Secret Santa at school, and we had to fill out this little form that talked about our likes and things and all of that. And I had of course put down that I liked yarn, and it's well known that I'm a knitter anyway. And so my Secret Santa got me this, which is Lion Brand Mandala, and it is the Balance colorway. And this actually might be one that I do fairly quickly because I think I want to do like a scarf or a wrap or something. It's a worsted weight, and there's 344 yards, so it would make a good scarfy type of a thing. And I think my coworker would enjoy seeing me wear something that I made with this. So this one I don't want to put off too far. I don't want to lose track of it because I think this will be one before the end of the month I would like. So I guess if we're talking yarny dreams, this is probably an early one. So that will be super fun. I thought it was super, super sweet. She totally spoiled me. I've got pictures of that in one of my Vlogmas videos as well. So, and then the last one is my January Yarnables. So if you have not yet received your Yarnables box, then you might want to look away or skip ahead to the next segment. Let's start with the extra goodies. This one is called Intergalactic, which is super fun. And the first little thing is this super fun project bag. Look how it's iridescent, and it opens up. So it makes like, I guess it's kind of like a ball shaped. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but super cute anyway. So that was item number one. And then we have these sticky tabs. I think these will go to school with me because I can use those for sure. And then some bath sprinkles. So I'll have to keep that upstairs near my bathtub. And next time I take a bath, I will have to use these. So that's those goodies. Now let's take a look at the yarn. Super pretty. I love these colors. I'm a blue, teal, right? Those teal colors, yeah. It is, again, called Intergalactic. So I don't know. It would make a fun pair of socks. It would make a great Musselburgh. I don't know. We'll see what this becomes. But that is my yarn acquisitions for this month. Day to day. Oh, well, it's been 4 weeks. I don't know. I'm not even going to attempt to go into great detail. I'll kind of give you the broad strokes of my last month. Let's see. I had my Christmas show that I was in, which was super, super fun. It was a 3-day production at a local performing arts center here in town. And I had a solo, and I was part of some group numbers, and it was a lot of fun. This is the 3rd year that I've done it. It makes the month of December kind of busy, but it's worth it in the end. Like the camaraderie and I don't know, I really enjoy putting the time and effort into that. I did, backing up slightly, so that was the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right before Christmas, is when the show was. A week and a half prior to that, on December 10th, which is actually probably just after my last podcast dropped, I sprained my ankle, like actually really badly. I was heading down the stairs to leave actually for a rehearsal for the Christmas show, and it was a little like freezing rain-ish. The roads were okay, but like surfaces, like especially stairs and things, were a little bit icy. So I was trying to be careful as I left. And I was going down my stairs very carefully. I got to the bottom, and then I have like 2 concrete pads, so it makes like 2 additional little steps, but the railing ends with the wooden part of the stairs. And the best I can tell, because I really don't know exactly what I did, is I was trying to be very careful, recognizing the fact that it could be icy. And I think as I was transitioning from holding on to the railing to just being free, as it were, I must have shifted my weight funny or something, because I distinctly remember thinking, oh, the concrete is not actually slippery, and then I was on the ground. So I don't know. I rolled it is definitely what I did, and oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. Swelled up like a balloon. The next day I could not walk. We actually had a snow day the next day because of the ice, and which worked out really well because I could not have gone into work anyway because my foot was was too swollen. I couldn't even walk on it. I did call my doctor. I was able to rotate it, so I was pretty sure that it wasn't broken, that it was probably just a bad sprain. And indeed, about 5 or 6 days later, like the following Monday, I did go in and checked in with my doctor, and she confirmed, yeah, no, it's just a bad sprain. So I can still feel it. I can walk normally. It's a little stiff first thing in the morning, but once I get going in my day, I can walk without any discomfort or stiffness or whatever. But if I move it just right or rotate it, I can feel that discomfort. I wouldn't say it's even pain necessarily, but I can tell that it's still healing, and it is still kind of swelling. By the end of the day, it's kind of swollen. So anyway, yeah, that was not fun, but fortunately it wasn't broken. I was really grateful for that because I had that show. My daughter came into town on Thursday the 19th. My son actually had to pick her up from the bus station because we had a dress rehearsal that night. And she was with us for a week. Christmas was good. It was busy. You know, we had family things. Again, you can see a lot of this if you go back into my Vlogmases, but we gathered with, on Christmas Eve, we went to my cousin's house on my dad's side, and we spent some time with that side of my family. And then on Christmas Day, we had our kids came over first. Well, my boy's already here, and then my daughter and her fiance came over, and we opened our gifts. And then my husband's side of the family came over, and we did Christmas together. And then we left and went to my mom's and did Christmas with my side of the family. So it made for a really, really long day. Actually, by the time I got home, Christmas night, I was done for. And then we left the next day, Thursday, December 26th, we left to go to New York. We left with my daughter and her fiance and took the train down to New York because on that Saturday we went to the Rockettes, and that has always been a dream of mine, is to see the Rockettes. And I was so excited to do it. It was so much fun to be in the city at Christmas time and see all of the lights and all of everything, and the Rockettes were everything that I ever could have hoped for and more. It was so amazing. It was just so enjoyable and such a great time. Our youngest son came along with us, so it was fun to see New York kind of through his eyes because he had never been to the city before. We had lots of great food again and just really enjoyed. And then we came home on Monday, and then of course that was heading us right into New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and I had all of the rest of last week off. The one sad bit within our that 2 weeks or that time frame around Christmas is we did lose my father-in-law on December 23rd. So Monday the 23rd, he passed away. He has been dealing with Alzheimer's, dementia for probably 4 or 5 years. So we haven't really had any meaningful emotional connection to him in quite some time, but and he was 90, so he did live a long, very full, very blessed life. But his body did finally succumb on that Monday, so that was sad. Happy sad, I guess. We know that he is in heaven. He trusted in Jesus as a savior, so we know we'll see him again. We did have the funeral yesterday, so that was kind of the button, I guess, on my Christmas break. It was a beautiful funeral. It was a wonderful opportunity to just celebrate a wonderful man. But today we had church this morning, and I'm really just we did groceries. I'm getting the filming done here. And then for the rest of the day, it's like 3:30. I plan to make some tea and put my feet up and chill because I go back to work tomorrow morning, and I just want to soak up the last few hours of this vacation time. I'm ready though. It's been a very emotional couple of weeks. The highs and the lows of Christmas and the vacation combined with the lows of losing my father-in-law. So I'm ready kind of for that stability of school and the predictability of, well, as predictable as public education can be, right? So that'll be good. I think I'm ready. I'm ready to go back and reconnect with everybody. So that's where this leaves us. I probably should have stated this at the top of the episode, but I am planning on doing a year in review video. I had hoped to do it last week, record it and put it out, and I just didn't get to it. So sometime this week I will do that recording. I have all of my notes together for it. I just gotta sit and do the recording on that one. So that will be coming out sometime in the next week or two, and just kind of reviewing all of the projects that I did last year and maybe talking about some goals for this coming year. So With that, I will close this out. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Knittin' Michelle. Please feel free to send me an email if you would like at michellesfiberstudio@gmail.com. I will have everything that I have talked about linked below in the show notes. Anything else that I'm forgetting? If you liked this video, please like it and or subscribe so that you will always know when I have more content that I put out. I hope that you all have a fantastic week and happy knitting.